Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am here with Christmas in July, and I'm blending it with 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life, Day 9's 2-page sketch. They are exclusive sketches for the month of June, and this one is by Stella Harris. And there are lots of pictures on here, and I'm actually going to use the same amount of pictures minus one I'm going to exchange out for a card. So I am using some pictures from 2013's Christmas as well as working up to Christmas. And so I'm really excited to combine some things and get them on this double spread. And I'm using Vicki Boutin's Evergreen and Holly. I have lots of papers, a full 12 by 12 book, a 6 by 8 book, and then lots of different embellishment sticker books, things like that. I would love to get some of these things used up, and there's like 5 or 6 clusters that should help me get some things, on the page. So I've got my papers, my embellishments, lots of pictures, and this awesome sketch. So let's see how this goes. So I wanted to use all papers from this collection instead of using like solids because, like I said, I have a lot of papers and I really want to start getting them used. I have lots of Christmas stuff. I have 3 Christmas collections just from Vicki Boutin alone. One is almost completely gone, but I have quite a bit of paper for Evergreen and Holly, and I have almost all of Peppermint Kisses, which I have barely touched. So I really want to start using it. I will use so much during like December and early January. And then I got to remind myself that I've got these monthly hop for Christmas. And so I've had to dig back into 2013 for pictures. So, which is fine. So, and I still have at least 1 or 2 more layouts that I will hold off for August, September and stuff. So I picked the same paper for the background, that green, and then I picked this wordy paper that has all the different colors in it and cut it in. The left side is 3 inches, I think, or 4 inches, and then the right side is 6. And so I get that down, and I'm gonna use this this cut apart that says December highlights. And I'm really just using that mostly as a journaling space. I will put like some highlights and kind of point out what's going on both pages. But for the most part, I'm really just journaling in that space, which I'm perfectly thrilled with that. So, but I do use, my pictures are pretty similar. Like the 4 2x2s, I've got that on there. And instead of doing 3 4x4s down that middle section, which a 4x4s right there wouldn't really work, but it looked more like a 3x4 to me. I'm using a 4x6 that I trimmed down a little, and then a 3x4. And then on the right layout, like I said, I used that cut apart, and then instead of the 3 pictures that are going horizontal, I have 3 pictures that are more portrait, but I've trimmed them down to where they're kind of smaller so they fit better. And so I love the way that it turned out. And this is really 3 different events. The top picture is my Christmas tree at my house at the time. The picture below it is the cookies. And then the strip of 4 is the kids creating their cookies, because we always have a cookie day every year. And this is the kids, they get their own cookie, or they used to when they were younger. That was, my sister always cut or baked into their first initial. And that cookie they could decorate how they wanted, and they could eat it that day. And so that's why they've got like their fingers in their mouth and stuff, because at the end of all the other icing, they could make their own cookie and then eat it. So, and then on the right layout, that is Christmas Day. And so it's got pictures of all 4 grandkids. And then the side part over on the far right is my daughter, and then a picture of her and my mom and her and my dad. Well, of my dad opening presents that Santa brought specifically for them, because Katie wrote out a wish list to Santa, not for herself, but for specific gifts she wanted Santa to bring to her family. And thankfully, Santa found that note stuck in the pew at church because I was just, because they're nosy. And so they were able to fulfill these very, very specific gifts, like a bobblehead that looks like her for her granddad, and a specific kind of jewelry box for her grandmother. And there were other, a Raiders flag for her dad, and a jewelry box for her mom. Like, she had very, very specific requests. And so Santa was very lucky and found all the things that Katie had asked for her family. And it was so sweet that Santa had written underneath on the bottom of everything that it was created in Santa's workshop. It was a very lovely experience, and brought a lot of joy to my daughter that year. Unfortunately, it was the last year that she wrote a letter like that to Santa. The rest of them after that were a little different. So she was 12 that year, and or just about to turn 12, and had been questioning a lot of things. And so we were really, really grateful to be able to give her one more year of being, innocent child who still has all the hopes and dreams and everything. So anyway, I am building clusters. My clusters are not exactly where they are on the sketch. Mostly I stick to where they are, but I also kind of add a little bit more. So like I had that little card or envelope that's open over there on the right layout. And because she wrote a letter to Santa, I wanted to use that envelope. I could have tucked it on the other side, but I'd already used the other side of that envelope on another layout in the past. So all I had was the left side. So I just tucked it in, add that little reindeer just to add a little something. Add some greenery. I had a wreath, had mushrooms on it. I find that weird, but I think Vicky Booten really loves mushrooms. So I kind of cover the like bigger mushrooms up with like little tags and tucking things in. So I get those on there just to kind of add a little bit of space. And then this little thing that I keep moving around right here, it says writing a letter to Santa. And I didn't have space where I originally planned on putting that over on the right side where that whole storyline with my daughter is. So I ended up putting it on the picture with the grandkids because they all write their letters and everything, and it's in that same space. So I liked that going there. Plus there was like a big gap right there where that is, where there's just background, and it is Christmas decorations, but it was just a lot of like windows and couch cushions and stuff like that. So I did build my title down in the bottom left corner of the left layout. The title on the sketch, of course, is going like bold up the side. I don't always like putting a title sideways like that, so building it in that space I felt worked well, and I titled it Joyful and Decked Out. It felt like that kind of encompassed the entire layout, even though it's, like I said, 3 different real events. And then I did do my journaling and noted it was cookie day and that we liked decorating the tree, and then made a note about my daughter and her wish list from for her family. And then I finished things off with my enamel accents that I love by Ranger. And that is it. I enjoyed creating this. I don't do 2-page layouts all that often, so I was excited to get this one done and to tie in Christmas in July. So here are the close-ups of the cute little pictures of those kids. I had a little frame that said something about Christmas cutie, but I couldn't put it on one of them because that'd be like I was picking my favorite. That would be wrong. So they're all Christmas cuties, right? So anyway, I hope you'll go check out everybody who's hopping along with Christmas in July. That list will be below, or the playlist. Also, 30 Days of Sketches will be on a playlist that you hope you found this there. I'm halfway through June's layouts or sketches, so I'm excited about that. And I'd love it if you'd give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and or my layout, and I would love it if you would subscribe if you haven't already. Hope you have a great day. I hope you get a chance today to do something you love with someone you love, and happy scrapping.